Good morning. It's Wednesday, June 24th, and we're going to continue our discussion on action and problem solving with a prompt from the Daily Stoic, which reads, do I really need to argue or quarrel so much? So I want to try out a little social experiment that could either help support the point that I want to make or blow up in my face. So we'll see how this goes. But I first read today's prompt before I left for the gym, and as I thought through it during my workout, my initial reaction was, but I don't think that I am one to argue so much. I mean, I can't say that I always was like that. I used to be much more reactive and quick to engage in confrontation, at least verbally. I've never been one to engage physically. But consciously, I've aspired to make progress in this area over the last few years. And subjectively, I believe that I have done that. I mean, that's not to say that I still don't have my moments of obstinance where I'll dig in my heels to prove a point, but generally speaking, I'm much more selective about when and where I choose to engage and argue. And as I continued my workout, I wondered if it was just me being biased in my assessment. Am I just telling myself that because that's what I want to believe? So I thought that the true test would be to ask the person with the best firsthand knowledge and without forewarning, get her assessment. So without further ado, all right, time to see how I did on my self-assessment. As noted in the earlier video, we're talking about am I one to argue or to quarrel? And I provided my perspective, but I thought it would be more interesting to see what Jen had to say about me. So a couple questions she hasn't seen before. Would you currently characterize me as argumentative?
Can you elaborate?
Do you think I'm one who's prone to arguing?
No.
Would you have said that I might have been more argumentative in the
Yes.
past? What are the biggest differences that you'd note in our interactions?
That you seem to pause, like stop before you immediately, most of the time, before you respond.
All right. Final question. Which version do you like better?
The future one, that's going to be even better.
Exactly what I noted in the rest of this video.
Really?
Yep. Thanks so much.
Okay.
So back to the discussion. The desire to argue or quarrel is driven by one thing, the ego. It's the same thing that causes us the need to be better than, more than, or recognized for. It's that feeling of superiority and certainty that goes beyond the reasonable limits of confidence and talent. As the former football coach Bill Walsh explained, self-confidence becomes arrogance, assertiveness becomes obstinacy, self-assurance becomes reckless abandon. So when I say that I'm not really prone to arguing anymore, that's actually just a reflection of me being more aware of my ego and proactively looking to manage it. When I feel grounded in my beliefs, I don't get as defensive. When I remember how much more damage anger does than the things that cause it, I can show more restraint. And when I'm content to disagree, or even better, concede and admit my error when it's necessary, then I'm able to quickly diffuse an escalating situation. And that's really comforting to look back and recognize that progress. I know how much more peace I feel in my life without so much toxicity of the ego around. And like I said, there's still a long ways to go, but at least now, having confirmed with Jen, I know that I'm headed in the right direction. Have a great day. Bye.